Welcome to Community Restorative. My name is Anchi, and in today's class, we are going to start out with some leg stretches to open up the hips, to improve our breathing, and also maybe to release tension in the low back area as well. For today's class, you'll need a strap, a couple blocks, 3 blankets, and a chair. You can come onto your back and have your strap and one of your blocks within reach. And it's suddenly fall here in Georgia, so I have a sweater on and socks. It feels good. Once you're in the constructive rest position, just give yourself 3 focused breaths, connecting with especially your lower body, with the sacrum, the felt sense of your legs, the sense of your feet on the floor. You can use a long sigh out through the mouth as a way of extending the breath and also to soften the diaphragm. And then when you're ready, after those 3 breaths, next time when you exhale, you can slide your hands up your legs and draw your knees in and just squeeze your legs in and let your low back flatten out. And you can rock side to side, or you can stay statically and stretching through this lower part of the body with this knee to chest first. Take some breaths into this position. And then when you're ready, you can start to move your knees in and out as a way of tilting the sacrum, getting movement into your spine. And option is to add in rotating the head away as you move the thigh away. And then when you hug in, you can turn your head back to center to add in a little rotation in the neck. So just warming up the low back. You can let it be organic. Sometimes maybe you want to hang out in a particular place. Next time when you come back in, start to move in a circle and massage into the sides of the hips through your circle as well. You can vary the size of the circle so that different parts of your low back and your hips touch the ground. And go in the other direction with these knee circles, hip circles. Good. And then we'll lower the left foot down and you can grab your strap and we'll take the right foot into the strap. So coming up into your first stretch, so just kind of noticing what's going on in the back of the leg. And then when you're ready, you can start to maybe wag the leg side to side so that you are changing the sensations. You're including more aspects of your hamstrings through this stretch. And you can also start to turn your thigh bone out and turn your thigh bone in. So again, moving the leg in little different directions of movements to change the stretch through the back of your leg. Good. And then bend and extend the knee as well. Good. Next time when you're up, you can make circles from the ankles to get some circulation into this joint as well. And then circle in the other direction. Okay. From here, turn your leg out again and then bend the knee and let the knee migrate out to the side like you're in an upside down lunge. And you can, so you're kind of placing the ankle above the knee and the knee a little bit to the side of the body. From here, explore extending your leg and bending your leg. So it's gonna stretch again, that famous hamstring. And to deepen the sensations, you could drop the other leg out to the other side as a counterbalance. You can also lengthen the left leg as well, or you can keep it up too. So play around and see what variation feels best for your body. So it's a happy baby position where we are bending and extending that knee. And then you can grab a hold of the foot if you have flexibility, or you can grab a hold of the strap a little bit closer. We're going to add in a progression if it works for your body. There's no need to force. So you're going to allow the knee to go down to the side and don't keep your pelvis rigid. Let your pelvis tilt along with the knee. And then now you can extend and lower the toes towards the floor and then come back. So now you're kind of rocking side to side on your sacrum as well. And basically we're moving from happy baby into kind of a relaxed leg stretch to position, letting the pelvis tilt. Okay. Good. And coming back to center, extend through the leg again and make some circular movements just to invite in the full range of movement through this hip socket. Circle in the other way. Good. And then we'll explore a variation of a different way of getting into leg stretch 3. We're going to get into it from a bent knee position as well. So you can bend the knee and then migrate the leg over more towards the figure 4 position. And it's not going to be completely perfect figure 4 like if we were resting it on that left leg. It might be a little bit less at that 90-degree angle. And you can drop your hip over. You can hold the strap with the other hand and keep it bent, and then extend the leg out. Okay, and then bend back and rock back onto your sacrum, and then rock over to the other side, and then explore lengthening that leg. So rocking side to side and extending that knee. So a slightly different way of doing our usual leg stretches today, just to vary it up. And then next time when you land over to this left side, you can stay and prop your foot up on your block. And you can reach your right arm over back to the right, turn your head to the right, and just breathe into this stretch through the side of your hip, low back. When you're ready to come back to center, you can bend the knee a little bit and then come on back. We'll lower the foot down. Your choice of how you want to take the comparison could be here, it could be both legs on the floor. But take a minute to register and sense any difference between right leg, left leg. Right side of your low back, left side of your low back. Cool. So let's do that on the second side. And we're going to come back to first knee to chest again. So we get a moment where we give our little compression and decompression to the lumbar spine. So hugging in and out. And then when you're ready, you can lower the right foot, lengthen left leg up, put the strap either across the arch or across the ball of your foot. And you can come to the static position first and just hang out there for a few breaths. Good, and then keep the elongation through that heel as you explore, just slightly abducting and adducting your leg, taking it in to center and out to the other side. And noticing how the stretch sensations change as you move the leg side to side. Good. And then when you come back to center, from your hip socket, turn the leg out, turn the leg in, and keep lengthening the heel up as you internally rotate and externally rotate. Good. And then get some movement into your ankle as well. Circles from the ankle joints. Other side, other direction as well. Good. And then coming back to that first position, and notice how the sensations have changed after just rotating a little bit more and moving a little bit more from the hip socket. And now turn the leg out, bend the knee, and move towards a lunge position, a half happy baby. Hold on to the strap a little closer, and then you can explore extending the knee out to the side and then bending the knee back. You can start with the pelvis down first. So just stretching the leg in and out from lunge position or happy baby into a leg stretch 2 position. And if you want to, you can increase that movement by rocking from your sacrum, and you could pull the knee all the way to the ground. You might hold on to the foot and then kick the leg out to the side, and you can tilt your pelvis and then rocking back. And you can use your other leg as kind of a ballast, extending and bending the other leg as well. Good. And we'll take it back to center. You could maybe go into figure 4 first and take a moment there change your strap hold to the other hand, right hand, and then drop this right leg, and then now you're going towards leg stretch 3, and then you could extend that leg out, and then bend the knee, rock back onto your sacrum. Explore. Kicking the leg out with the strap, bending that knee, and rocking back. You could even play and, you know, extend your leg into a new spot on the floor too. It's a variation. I like it up higher because I can feel the stretch a little bit more. And then we'll hold the stretch statically, and this is where the block can help make it more comfortable. It could go all the way down, but if you feel compression in the SI joint, keep the foot more in line with the hip socket, and that can elevate or alleviate some of that compression in that joint. Okay, and then you can turn and focusing on the breath, letting the breath massage into the left side of your body more. Good. When you're ready to come back, oh, I lost my strap. But so you can bend that knee and come on back. And lower that leg down. Come back and compare, feel the lower body now, the right, the left sides. And noticing your breath here. Can you feel your breath going all the way down into your pelvis? Into your low back, into your belly. Okay. Hug your knees in again, and we're going to use a rocking motion to get up towards a sitting position. And what this rocking motion does is it really helps to balance the working between the psoas and the deep core. And we're going to be rocking up into a different arrangement with our legs in order to open up the range of motion and strengthen the core. So you can start by just maybe lifting your feet a little higher like this and lifting your bum off of the floor so that you feel your belly muscles work, and then lower down. Okay, and then you can add in reaching your arms, and so that you're creating this kind of rocking motion. The trick to be able to rock is to pull your floating ribs down so that you're engaging your lower abs. If you keep your spine straight, you're just gonna fall flat and like get stuck like I just did. Okay, so pull your floating ribs down. And then next time when you sit up, sit in a half primal squat. Take one leg into a squat, one leg into kind of like a cross-legged position. Option 1 is to stay with your bum down. Option 2 is to pull and lift your bum off. So then you add in that work. And then go down, rock, and switch positions. Half primal squat the other way. You can, if you're working on your strength, you can even just kind of use your hands and lengthen without, quite lifting up. Also, you can try exhaling as you lift up to engage your deep core a little bit more easily. Okay, so rocking to half primal squat. And you can also omit the rocking if it doesn't work for your body, and you could just play around with sitting and switching. Okay, so lots of different ways to do this. for our bodies. Okay. And then we will meet up in sitting. And that got a little heart rate going. And now we're going to come into the first true restorative. And it's a wide-legged forward fold to stretch adductors, and you can support your upper body with whatever height you need. So for those of us who aren't comfortable going all the way down, the chair is a perfect height. And I recommend folding up a blanket or sitting on a cushion so that your pelvis is tilted forward and your low back can be more neutral. Okay, so you're sitting on the edge of your blanket or your cushion and you're tilting your sacrum forward. Legs can be straight. If the hamstrings are really tight, it might feel really good to give the knees support. So it could be with blocks, with rolled up blankets. And then it looks, you can support your head like this. So play around with the level of support that feels good for you. And allow your forehead to maybe press against the back of your hands or the back of your arms. So that little slight compression in that point between the eyebrows can help us to kind of slow down our minds, slow down our thinking minds. And as you get situated here, start to inquire into your natural breath, feeling the quality of your breath expanding through the back of your ribs here. And also in the front, expanding through into the sternum, into the chest. Allow your exhalation to softly lengthen. So that's the key to not only cultivating more of a relaxed state, but also, let's say, if for some reason you want it to make your breath longer, deeper, you want to focus on getting the exhale to lengthen first, rather than trying to suck in more air. So let that exhale just comfortably lengthen. And your focus is just to stay here and begin to imagine that your heart is breathing. Your breath starts from the heart. And allow your jaw to soften, your eyes to soften. And then we're going to add in cultivating gratitude or appreciation here. So, what is it that you are grateful for in this moment? Maybe just grateful for the breath, this quality of being able to breathe with ease. Grateful for your health. And once you have invoked that quality, can you keep that sense of gratitude in your heart? Stay connected to that felt sense. So when we can shift into nourishing emotions like gratitude, it has a whole cascade of benefits for the body as well as the mind. Good. Take 3 more breaths here in this wide-legged forward fold. And when you're ready to come out, you can slowly come out step by step. So maybe lifting the body off of the support first, and then you can maybe bend one knee, bend the other knee. And we'll slowly come out of this first pose. So and you can remove that chair. Good. And next pose is going to be a variation of a twist. We're going to start sitting with the legs forward, and we'll just do the windshield wipers first. So a little movement to the hips. And then next time when your knees go over to the right, you can lower the legs all the way down into, it's called a deer pose. So you can just sit like this in any way that works for your body. And we'll get a little movement into the upper body before we come down, just to make it more balanced. So we'll lift the left arm, and you can let that lift of that arm lengthen your spine, and then make a complete circle, maybe turning the palm back, and explore. So you're just exploring, making a big circle with this arm. You can also have the elbow bent if you feel a lot of tension. And if you want to add load to this exploration, you can grab a hold of a block. And then reverse this circle with your shoulder. And I'm allowing my head to just kind of move naturally with this shoulder rotation. And then next time when you come down, you can put your hands either on the floor or your blocks, whatever works for your body. It could be, all the way in a twist, could be more forward, whatever is more comfortable for your spine. So we're just pushing and pulling to get movement into the spine as well. So spinal extension, spinal flexion. Good. And then we'll migrate down into a comfortable twist shape for us. So if you can stay in the staggered leg position, you're in this staggered leg position, and you can come down, and I invite you to support your ribs as you lie down, and Some of us might be comfortable with blocks if our blocks are soft enough. These blocks are a little bit firm, so I'm going to grab a blanket, I'm going to roll it up, and I'm putting it close to my leg so that when I come down, the side of my ribs here on the right side is supported, and then I'm supporting my forehead on my forearms. So more of a deer twist than the traditional twist where the knees are together. But if this isn't comfortable and it's more comfortable for you to stack the knees together, you're welcome to change the leg positioning. Again, simply letting yourself shift into this connection with your breath, with your body. And let's develop the breath into this right side more. So I'm mirroring and I'm over actually on my left, but if you're whatever side you're on, see if you can feel how the breath is naturally moving down into this lung more. And intend for your breath to go into the lower lobe of your right lung. And slow down your exhalation so that it is even with your inhale. And as you slow that exhalation down, you can sense your deep abdominals just drawing inwardly to control the rate of the diaphragm's movement upward. And so feeling that connection between diaphragm and transverse abdominals. Noticing how much elasticity there is in your ribs on this side as well. How much are they able to expand with your breath? Okay, watch your body breathe like this for 3 more rounds. And then when you're ready to come up, you can come up nice and slowly, step by step, intentionally. And eventually you can transition back to legs in front of you, hands behind you, and you can come back to the windshield wipers. And then eventually we'll drop the knees over to the other side. And we'll add in movement in this left shoulder. And again, you can hold on to a block if you want to add in more loading, or you can skip that and just explore moving this shoulder in a circle. Bend the elbow if you like, if it feels like there's a lot of tension, so you don't need to be rigid with the arm. And then exploring, going in the other way. And I'm kind of starting to feel like instead of going in that windmill circle, I want to add in a little bit more of a spiral movement to loosen up my shoulder. So you can do that as well. Some more of a spiraling movement. Good. And then last movement here before we come down is finding our spinal extension and flexion. And if your back is feeling a little bit more sensitive, it's better to have the hands in line with the two frontal hip bones, so your spine is pretty much in line with your pelvis. If you're more flexible, you could add in the rotation as you extend and flex. So it's really up to you where you want to put the hands, okay? And explore pushing and pulling through the hands to round your spine and extend your spine. Try to initiate from the lower body rather than from the neck and the head. And then come to more of a neutral position on your spine and grab your support for your bottom ribs here. And you land into a twist variation. So if you are able to, you want to keep the legs staggered. It's just a different kind of quality of stretch than if the legs are together. But if you need to modify that, please do. And the idea is to support the bottom ribs and be in a forward fold with the head's facing down. And this way we start to bias the breath more over onto this lung on your left side. So when you're able to stay still, just notice the natural movement of the breath. Is it naturally just favoring this lower side? Just because of your positioning, your breath will adapt to your body position and your activities. And then it's helpful to develop this awareness of the lower part of our lung, the lower lobe, and the more posterior aspect, because the bulk of the lungs are positioned right here. Okay, so intend for your breath to move into the lower lobe of your brain, of your lung on this side. And just notice how the quality of the breath changes with your awareness and your intention. Feeling for this quality of the elasticity of your lungs. How flexible is it? How much is it able to adapt and fill into this lower part? And then can you also sense how your ribs also aid in your breath capacity? How much elasticity is there in between the ribs? How much movement can you sense there as well? Watch yourself breathe here for 3 more rounds. Now, when you're ready to come out slowly, intentionally. Good. And you can migrate onto all fours from the sitting position, and on to all fours you can come into cat-cow to stretch the spine out evenly, because we were in a little bit of an asymmetrical position. So you can move through extension and flexion here. You can also move from here and then all the way into child's pose. Gonna do a couple more rounds of that, and if you feel inspired to make hip circles, anything that's related, go ahead and adapt and modify for what is inspiring to you right now. And then for our rest position today, I'm going to suggest a little bit of an inversion, taking the legs higher up than the torso. So you can come back to your chair and rest your legs up your chair. That could be one way of inverting. Could be legs up the wall if you prefer that. If your chair is a little bit hard, the seat is not padded, you could put a blanket there, especially on that edge. This is where you'll feel the most contact behind your knees, so you want it to be soft. And so lower legs will rest here, and then the torso can be down on the mat. Some variations, because we're all different shapes and we have different shape chairs. If you are a little bit shorter, here, like your thigh isn't quite as long as the height of your chair, you could put your sacrum on another blanket to make that more comfortable, and then you would actually be deepening your inversion, since your pelvis will now be higher than your heart. So that's another layer to that inversion. So I'm going to give that a try, see how it feels today. So it would look like folding another blanket like this, and then it would be right by the chair. And I'm going to put my bum there and gracefully or not so gracefully come down. Okay, so that feels, for me, it feels pretty good to have that sacrum support there. So finding your rest pose. If you have more props, it can ground you more to put weights onto your legs, like maybe put a blanket over your lower legs, a blanket over your belly. It's the same concept as the weighted blankets. The compression is soothing on the nervous system. So here, once you are comfortable and can stay, feel the whole landscape of your body again here in this new position, and notice all the ways that your body is being held. So all the different places where you touch some support. And letting yourself really register and receive that support. So we'll first feel the support of the heels or the lowest place in your body where you're touching something. So for some of us, could be the heels, might be the calves. And as you stay and sense this connection place, imagine your subtle breath moving into this contact place. And see if it's possible to discern, maybe on the exhale, this part of your body being able to relax more into the ground. Maybe it feels a little heavier on the exhale. And once you're able to sense any shift in this first point of focus, with curiosity, move your attention up to the next part of your body that is touching support. And stay here with beginner's mind, open mind, and just witness whatever you can sense about the breath and this part of the body's meeting place with support. Is it able to soften more with time, with gravity? And keep investigating. Eventually, you'll probably sense your sacrum. So definitely include your sacrum in your awareness, how it's touching the floor, how breath is moving through there. Include in your awareness the back of your ribs, the shoulders. And then lastly, also include in your awareness the back of your head. Once you have scanned all the way up to the head, feel your entire back body again and see if the meeting places between body and support, if it has shifted in any way. And open your attention so that you can sense your body as a whole. What is the whole body like now? And come back to feeling your breath out the heart center, and touching that place of gratitude. So finding this quality of gratitude for your breath, for your body, and for life itself. Notice how it feels through your whole system when you are in gratitude. So at your own pace, your own timing, you can invite little movements first to your body. So if you have your legs up, go ahead and draw your knees in. You can roll over to the side. And whenever you're ready to, you can come into a comfortable seat. And just taking a baseline of your whole system after your practice. So feeling the whole body, the natural breath, the mental space, the emotional space. And notice how you yourself contain the body. So the body arises in awareness. Thoughts arise in awareness. And even the breath arises in awareness. So sitting back as this awareness present space. And feeling that connection of heart center, how that is a gateway to awareness as well. And we'll join the hands together at the heart. Take a full breath to heart center and bowing your head to your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.